Remember that night when you tried to perform, but your body just wouldn't cooperate? Again, the frustration, the shame, like wondering if you're simply broken. Most guys don't realize there's a massive difference between your equipment not working and actually wanting the sex. Here's the truth nobody's telling you. PIED isn't primarily about blood flow or testosterone. It's happening in your brain first. Your mind is like a computer running outdated software. It just needs reprogramming, okay? Not hardware upgrade. Today, I'm gonna show you the psychological approach that's already helped hundreds of my clients get their natural desires back. You ever notice how the first thing guys do when their libido takes a nosedive? They immediately look for something physical to fix it. Maybe it's a testosterone supplement or some miracle pill from that late night infomercial, or even that fancy new diet claiming to boost your sex drive. But here's the thing, for most men struggling with PIED, this approach is exactly like trying to fix a software problem by replacing your computer's hardware. Imagine replacing your entire hard drive when all you needed to do was update your operating system. It simply won't solve the real issue. Our society has conditioned us to see sexual problems as mechanical issues. Your doctor probably nodded along while writing you the prescription for those little blue pills because medical training focuses primarily on the physical aspects of sexual function. But here's something crucial that you need to know. Most men dealing with PIED have completely normal testosterone levels. Your body works fine. Hell, you probably still get morning wood, which is your body's way of saying, hey, the equipment is operational. The issue isn't with your body's capability. It's with the signals from your brain. Those pills your doctor prescribed, they're trying to force blood into an organ that's not receiving proper neurological signals. It's like pushing the gas pedal when the car isn't even in drive, okay? The machinery works, but the command center isn't sending the right messages. Now, the science reveals three main takeaways. Okay, in over 80% of cases, men under 40 with erectile difficulties have psychological factors as the primary cause. Physical function is typically normal, and your brain's protective patterns override arousal. What's really happening is a psychological pattern, a stress, anxiety, failure loop that activates during sexual performance. Your brain remembers past disappointments and triggers a protective response, shutting down your natural arousal system. Brother, understand this. Your body isn't broken. You're caught in a psychological pattern that no pill can fix alone. But this is something that you can absolutely change with the right approach. Think about it. If you keep typing the wrong password on your phone, all right, is your phone broken? No, you just need the correct password. Your arousal system works the same way. You just need to reestablish the right mental patterns to access it. Speaking of passwords, what if I told you that your brain's arousal system has literally been reprogrammed with a completely different access code? This is happening at the neurological level, and brain imaging studies prove it's occurring exactly the way you feel it is. Your arousal system didn't evolve to handle what modern life throws at it. Imagine waking up, immediately checking for emails, feeling your heart race as you have an urgent message, then rushing through traffic while your stress builds. By evening, your brain is fried. For thousands of years, your brain developed pathways designed for human-to-human connection, real touch, real eye contact, real emotional exchange. But now, that finely tuned system is getting bombarded with signals it was never designed to process. When chronic stress hits your system, and man, who isn't stressed these days? Your body pumps out cortisol. Think of cortisol as an emergency shutdown switch that actively suppresses testosterone production. Your brain's command center literally shuts down your sexual desire at the hormonal level, like a computer overloading and automatically closing programs to protect itself. But it goes deeper than hormones. Your reward system evolved to respond to real human connection. But now it's hijacked by artificial stimulation that delivers novelty and shock value instead of genuine connection. Then performance anxiety kicks in and things go sideways. When you worry about whether you'll perform, right, you triggered your fight or flight response. And here's the crucial part that most guys miss. Arousal requires the exact opposite system, your parasympathetic nervous system. You can't be in fight or flight mode and arousal mode simultaneously. That anxiety that you feel before sex, your brain processes it exactly like being chased by a predator. Your body prioritizes survival over reproduction every single time. Now, the good news, this hijacking isn't permanent. Your brain has neuroplasticity, right? It can form these new connections. You can't just think positive thoughts though. You need to systematically retrain those neural pathways to respond to the right signals again. That systematic retraining of neural pathways, it requires something most men are taught to ignore their entire lives. While you've been focusing on physical performance, your brain has been screaming for emotional connection. Think about it. When was the last time that you truly felt emotionally safe with your partner before sex? Because science shows your dick literally won't respond without it. I can remember coaching this guy, let's call him Mike, successful businessman, physically fit, but couldn't get it up with his gorgeous wife. He tried every pill on the market. Nothing worked. And then one day, he admitted something. They hadn't really talked in months. They lived separate lives under the same roof. When they finally reconnected emotionally, his body responded immediately. No blue pills needed. Society feeds us this massive lie that men should be ready for action 24/7, regardless of emotions. Had a fight? You should still perform. Feeling resentful? Your body should still respond. But your brain absolutely cares about your emotional state. Men need connection before sex. And when that connection isn't there, your brain blocks arousal to protect you. Your arousal system works like an expensive car. It won't start without the right key, no matter how nice the vehicle looks. That key? Emotional safety. About 15% of men struggle with persistent low desire, even with physically attractive partners, because their emotional needs aren't being met. The research confirms this. Men in emotionally secure relationships report higher sexual satisfaction and fewer erectile issues. Those unresolved arguments, those feelings of resentment, the emotional distance, these kill your libido more effectively than any physical issue. That's why Viagra often disappoints. It can't fix an emotional foundation that's already crumbling. When you feel desired and validated by your partner, your arousal increases. Your brain needs to feel wanted before giving your body the green light. The good news? Rebuilding emotional connection is completely within your control. It doesn't require doctor visits, just approaching your relationships differently. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about next. So, you're ready to put in the work. But here's what nobody tells you. The timeline for getting your sexual confidence back, it isn't what most guys think. While those pills your doctor prescribed promise results within 30 minutes, real recovery follows a completely different schedule that isn't advertised on TV commercials. Here's the honest truth. When men follow a systematic approach to rewiring their arousal system, you'll typically see your first major breakthrough between 14 to 30 days, and then again 30 to 90 days. Now, complete recovery can take up to 6 to 12 months in some cases. I know that's frustrating to hear, but your brain developed these patterns over years. It needs time to rebuild. Now, the good news, this approach creates lasting change, not just temporary fixes. Now, let me give you the roadmap. Number 1, tackle stress head on. You're not hitting the gym for blood flow, right? We know that doesn't work. You're getting just 30 minutes of daily movement to regulate those critical hormones affecting your mood and your performance. Regular exercise, proper sleep, and basic mindfulness practices give the body the foundation it needs to rebuild. 2, have those uncomfortable conversations. That thing your partner said that's been eating at you for months, clear the air now. Research confirms that addressing relationship issues directly creates emotional safety that's essential for your arousal system to function properly. Number 3, reset your arousal system with a temporary dopamine fast from artificial stimulation. This helps your brain reestablish those natural connection pathways that may have gotten scrambled along the way. Think of it as letting your sexual reward system reset back to its normal state. Number 4, practice non-performance focused intimacy, or as I call them in my course, the partner connection activities. Begin with simple touch exercises where the goal isn't sex at all, just presence and connection. Studies show how these mindful physical connection practices significantly improve both emotional intimacy and sexual satisfaction. This approach builds something more meaningful than just fixing your libido. It creates a whole new relationship with your sexuality based on genuine connection rather than performance metrics. That's the foundation that lasts far beyond any quick fix. As we wrap this up, brother, remember something crucial. Your body is working exactly as it should. You're not broken. Your brain is just responding to the signals that you've been feeding it. The power lies in your hands now to change those signals. This isn't about forcing performance. It's about healing the disconnect between mind and body. As one of my students recently shared, The mental rewiring approach gave me back control I thought I'd lost forever. The exercises and the techniques inside Morningwood Academy rebuilds that vital connection, restoring confidence and physical response naturally. The journey takes time because real healing always does. Brother, you're not alone, and this is a challenge that you absolutely can overcome. I've seen it happen hundreds of times, but now it's your turn. Do me a favor, bro. Stimulate that subscribe button if you're still here, and erect the thumbs up bell for me. This helps me get in front of even more men in need. I will see you in the next video. Much love.